I'm Betty. Welcome to my kitchen. In this episode, we're going to talk about eggs, specifically poached eggs and hard-boiled eggs, and how to prepare them perfectly. There's a lot of equipment on the market for poaching eggs. There's cups that are plastic, there are metal utensils, and you really don't need any of them. All you need is a pot of simmering water. And I have my water all ready, and into it I'm going to put 2 tablespoons of vinegar. This is apple cider vinegar that I'm using. I'll just give that a stir. To make poached eggs, you want to use the freshest eggs available. That is really important. Older eggs, the white won't set up properly. So into my simmering water, I'm going to put my egg, which I've cracked into a little cup, as you can see here. Any kind of small bowl or cup will do. And you just hold it close, slip it in, and sort of pour the white over. And I'm going to do a second one. And these are going to cook for 3 minutes. I have ready some toast, which I simply cut out with a cookie cutter, and some crisp bacon, all ready to receive my poached eggs. I've got some paper towel, a fair thickness, and I've got a little strainer. Let the water go off as much as possible, and then you want to blot it on the paper towel to get rid of any additional moisture. And on the bottom, and we're ready to place that on our toast. We'll sprinkle it with a little salt, a little crack of black pepper, and there you have a lovely breakfast and a poached egg with no special equipment. If you're making poached eggs for a crowd, you either need a very big skillet or use this trick. Poach them the day before. As each egg is done, place it in a bowl of ice water to immediately stop the cooking. The next day, have a bowl of warm water ready and put the eggs, lift them out of the ice water, of course, and put them in the warm water and let them sit for 3 or 4 minutes, and they'll be just perfect. How to make the perfect hard-boiled egg. We've all been served hard-boiled eggs with that nasty green circle around the outside of the yolk. There's really no need for that if you know just how to cook them. And the way to start is to place your eggs in a pot and cover them by about 1 inch with cold water. We're going to let that water come to a boil. The water has come to a good rolling boil, so what I'm going to do is turn off the heat, cover them, and set my timer for 10 minutes. And we'll see you back in 10 minutes. Our eggs have finished cooking, and I now have them in the sink. I've drained the hot water off, added some cold water, and now I'm going to add some ice. And I'm just going to let these sit for about 3 or 4 minutes, just until they're cool enough to handle. And we'll proceed from there. I'd like to show you my favorite method for peeling these eggs. Just wrap them sharply all over and give them a little roll to loosen the shell. And with any luck, it will come right off. This one is working like a charm. But they don't always. Even though all of these eggs have been cooked exactly the same way, and they were all bought at the same time, I had one stinker that just wouldn't peel properly. Now that you've got your perfectly cooked hard-boiled eggs, what are you going to do with them? Well, you could just make some egg salad, which is always delicious. Or you could make some deviled eggs, and I'd like to show you my way of doing them. As I mentioned before, you're always going to get one egg that won't peel, even though it was cooked in exactly the same way. But that's not really a problem, because when you're making deviled eggs, it's always nice to have a little extra yolk. And as you can see, there is absolutely no green ring around that yolk. It's just beautifully yellow. And just squeeze that out into my bowl. A little piece of white in there that we don't want. And for the others, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut a tiny little slice off of each end and cut them through the middle. Again, you can see no green ring. Most of the time, your egg yolk will just pop out if you just push it on the back. To make our filling, I'm going to mash these egg yolks a little and then add about a good teaspoon of Dijon mustard, a couple of tablespoons of mayonnaise, and light mayonnaise is just fine. And I'm also going to add a few drops of hot sauce. And you, of course, would vary this according to how hot you like them. Just give these a good stir. We want to get these pretty smooth. Of course, you could simply spoon the filling into the eggs, but I'd like to show you a little fancier method. I've got a little pastry bag here fitted with a pastry tube, which I will show you in just a second. I'm just going to scoop my filling in there and get it all in there with my immaculately clean finger. You could use a heavy-duty Ziploc bag to do this, and I'm using just a little fluted tube there. Squeeze this down and give it a twist, and you're ready to pipe your filling into your eggs. Now, if I were making a large quantity of this, I would do the filling either in my mixer, using a hand mixer, whatever, or the processor. Because I just made a small quantity, it was just as easy to do it by hand. Just get the last of this out to fill our last egg. And there you have them. Just give this guy a final little squish there. There, that's prettier. Now to garnish these, you can take a tiny bit of parsley, and I do mean tiny. Just break off a little leaf there. Stick that in just slightly with a toothpick. Or you can take a slice of black olive and the tiniest sliver of red pepper and garnish it with that. For a final tiny garnish, I've got a few grains of cayenne pepper here. And I'm just going to very gently sprinkle these. You could, of course, also use paprika, but you just want the merest suggestion. With garnishing like this, less is always more. And there you have a lovely presentation. And you didn't need one of those special deviled egg dishes to do it. I hope you'll enjoy these. For further information and even more recipes, please visit my website.